Silence does not mean weakness, distance does not mean hatred. Sometimes, silence and distance are the highest forms of wisdom. There are moments when continuing to stay connected drains your spirit more than loneliness ever could. Zen teaches that attachment to anything that poisons your peace, even if it comes disguised as love, is the root of suffering. Today's teaching is not about walking away in anger, it's about walking away in clarity. It's about understanding that not every bond is sacred, not every friendship is loyal, and not every family tie is meant to last forever. Because the truth is, peace cannot coexist with toxicity. And when you start valuing your peace over false loyalty, that's when your life begins to bloom again. Let's unfold 9 Zen signs that show you must end every contact, even if it's your family or friends. 1. When they drain your energy instead of uplifting it. In Zen, energy is sacred. Every encounter either expands or depletes your inner calm. If someone leaves you emotionally exhausted after every conversation, that's not connection, that's extraction. Some people feed off chaos, they project fear, drama, and complaint. They enter your mind not to understand but to control. Zen wisdom says, when the cup is full of poison, do not sip out of politeness. Stop feeling guilty for protecting your energy. Love doesn't mean enduring constant heaviness. True love restores, not depletes. Energy doesn't lie, your body always knows before your mind admits it. 2. When they mock your growth or spiritual awakening. When you begin to grow, many won't recognize you anymore. You'll start valuing silence over gossip, presence over attention, and solitude over crowds. And some will ridicule that transformation. They'll say, "You've changed," as if change were a sin. But Zen reminds us, the bamboo that never bends breaks in the storm. Growth is bending with wisdom. It's detaching from ignorance without hate. Anyone who mocks your awakening fears your awareness. They sense they can no longer manipulate what they can't mentally reach. When someone tries to shame your peace, that's your cue to step away. 3. When conversations become repetitions of pain. When every talk becomes a battlefield, a cycle of blame, guilt, and emotional injury, Zen calls it samsara, the endless loop of suffering. In such circles, no one listens to understand. They listen to defend, and the more you try to explain yourself, the more misunderstood you become. So, stop fighting for clarity from those committed to confusion. Zen wisdom teaches, words lose their power when minds refuse stillness. If someone's presence forces you to repeat pain, you owe yourself release, not another explanation. 4. When you feel fear, not freedom, around them. The soul can sense danger before logic can explain it. When you constantly censor yourself around someone, fearing their reactions, their anger, or their silent disapproval, you are not in a relationship. You are in an emotional prison. Zen says, freedom begins when the eyes stop searching for approval. True relationships breathe trust and acceptance. fear and manipulation are forms of bondage. The moment you notice your peace shrinking in someone's presence, walk away before your spirit forgets how freedom feels. 5. When they use guilt as a weapon. Some people don't argue, they guilt. They'll say things like, "After everything I've done for you," or "Family never turns their back." But Zen wisdom sees through that. Guilt is not love, it's control disguised as care. In the path of awakening, guilt tripping is the lowest vibration, it traps you in emotional debt. Zen teaches, the wise repay kindness with gratitude, not with obedience. When love becomes a transaction, the connection has already died. You can forgive them, but still close the door that leads to constant guilt. 6. When they don't respect your boundaries. A Zen master once said, "Boundaries are the fences that protect the garden of peace." When someone consistently disrespects your limits, your time, your values, your silence, they're telling you they respect their comfort more than your peace. It's not your job to keep explaining your boundaries to people committed to crossing them. If you say no, and they treat it as a challenge, that's a clear sign, walk away. Even love without respect becomes manipulation. Respect is not requested, it's recognized. 7. When they celebrate your struggles but stay silent on your success. This one cuts deep. Some connections only thrive when you're beneath them. They comfort you when you're weak but vanish when you rise. In Zen, this is known as shadow compassion, kindness that hides jealousy. A wise spirit can feel when support is genuine and when it's rooted in envy. Zen teaches, those who truly wish you peace, rejoice when you bloom. When they smile only at your tears and not at your triumphs, it's time to close that door. Loyalty is tested not in your pain, but in your progress. 8. When the relationship forces you to betray yourself. Sometimes the deepest betrayal is not what they do to you, it's what you allow yourself to become around them. When you start lying to yourself just to keep peace, you are trading your truth for illusion. Zen reminds us, no bond is worth the death of your inner truth. The purpose of a relationship is evolution, not erosion. If staying connected means shrinking who you are, that connection is already broken. You were not born to please others, you were born to awaken, and awakening often begins with ending what no longer honors your soul. 9. When you feel peace only in their absence. The final sign is the most powerful. When peace visits you only after they leave, that's not coincidence, that's confirmation. Zen says, absence is a mirror, it shows what presence truly meant. If their absence feels like relief, it's not loss, it's liberation. Many people stay in painful connections out of fear of loneliness. But Zen wisdom whispers, loneliness is better than losing yourself among noise. Peace is not found in company, it's found in clarity. When someone's presence costs your balance, solitude becomes sacred. The art of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop suffering. When you end contact with those who disturb your peace, you are not being cruel, you are being conscious, you are choosing your mental clarity over emotional chaos, you are choosing to stop watering dead plants. Zen masters teach that detachment is the art of walking away without hate. It's saying, I release you, not because I don't care, but because I finally do, for myself. You can still wish them healing, but from afar. You can still pray for them, but not participate in their storm. You can still forgive them, but never return to the fire that burned your peace. Let silence close the chapter, let distance heal the wound, let your peace speak louder than your words ever could. Freedom in letting go. When you release toxic ties, you don't lose people, you lose illusions, and every illusion lost brings you closer to truth. Zen says, when the bird outgrows the cage, even gratitude cannot keep it bound. So fly, even if it means flying alone, because the moment you choose peace over people who disturb it, your spirit begins to rise into its natural state, free, clear, and untouchable. The world will try to convince you that blood means obligation, that friendship means forever, that silence means pride, but Zen wisdom knows, the soul that honors truth over attachment is the only one that truly lives. If this teaching touched your heart, take a breath, think of the connections that once felt safe but now feel heavy, and understand, the universe removes people not as punishment, but as protection. When you walk away in peace, the path ahead always becomes clearer. Be still, be free, be unapologetically peaceful. That is the essence of Zen, that is the real art of ending contact with love.